It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Y'all, we made it to Friday. I can't believe that we did, but we made it to Friday yet again, and I have you covered, y'all. It's going to be a Masterpiece Friday, and I think that I have a great Masterpiece Friday episode for you today. From the very beginning of the channel, I have been really into music by Yes. And today's video is going to be my 23rd video that is dedicated to this band's music. I have come to really love their aesthetic, their approach, the progressive rock anthems. I mean, Close to the Edge has to be like one of my all-time top desert island songs and albums, and I've just come to really love these guys. And we've listened to lots of their music on the channel, but since August of 2023, I've only included them twice on the channel, y'all. So it's way past time that we get back to their music here on YouTube. And today we're going to be listening to their 11th studio album called 90125. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to be listening to all of side one from this album today, and I'm happy that you are with me. Most of the music that I have been learning and getting to know from Yes over these last few years has been from their great albums of the 1970s. I have heard all of the Yes album, of Fragile, Close to the Edge, Tales from Topographic Oceans, one of my favorites. Relayer, quite a bit of Going for the One and Tormato, and then about a year ago on our Patreon, I reacted to all of their 10th album, which was Drama from 1980. And that was the album from Yes to feature Trevor Horn on lead vocals and Jeff Downes on keyboards following the departure of John Anderson and Rick Wakeman. So I know a little bit, and I've looked into a little bit of the drama with the musicians in the band around this time. And that gets us to 90125, right? Which was released in November of 1983. So after the tour to support the Drama album concluded, our bass player, Chris Squire, drummer Alan White, and Trevor Rabin formed a band called Cinema with the original Yes keyboard player, Tony Kaye. And meanwhile, while that was happening, Steve Howe and Jeff Downes left the group to form Asia, which I've heard from them too, and that's a quite a good group. But we're left with this band called Cinema, and the future of Yes is very much in doubt, right? So when John Anderson accepted Cinema's invitation to join them to sing lead vocals, the Cinema lineup became the new roster of Yes. Clear as mud. So we also get Trevor Horn in the mix. He was the lead singer on Drama, and he has now transitioned into serving as producer for this album. I think he provides some background vocals, but he's mainly just the producer this time. And Trevor Rabin is new to the band, but he is a very talented guitarist, singer, and songwriter from South Africa. And I actually had the pleasure of chatting with him here on the channel in an interview setting. That was in October of 2023. And I very much enjoyed chatting with him and getting to know him and his music a little bit better. So here on 90125, it's a new decade, it's a new roster of musicians, and the music here is described as more of a mainstream rock or popular music album as compared to the more progressive rock offerings that the band became known for in the 1970s. And as I look at the track listing, y'all, I think the only song that I know is Owner of a Lonely Heart. And I'm quite looking forward to hearing the rest of the album. I understand that it's going to be a different sounding Yes than I am accustomed to, but we've got John Anderson on vocals, y'all. So it's going to be great. Trevor Rabin is going to be on the guitars and keyboards and vocals. Tony Kaye is our keyboard player. Chris Squire's holding it down on the bass and providing vocals, and Alan White on the drums and percussion and some vocals. So we've got a really great lineup of players. And like I said, we're going to hear the first 4 songs from the album. Side 1, Owner of a Lonely Heart, Hold On, It Can Happen, and Changes. And I'm really excited to get to this, y'all. So let's start off with Owner of a Lonely Heart, the one that I know. It is not just the first track, but also the lead single from this album. It was primarily written by Trevor Rabin, and as far as I can tell, to this date, it is the only #1 single from Yes to ever reach that status on the Billboard Hot 100 or the mainstream rock charts. So it's their most known single release, and it starts off 90125. It is Owner of a Lonely Heart from Yes. Here we go. Somebody got in the back door just in time to give us the guitar riff. So it's just up the minor scale, then subtonic A, B, C, D, D, G, G. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
Move yourself. You always live your life, never thinking of the future. Prove yourself. You are the move you make. Take your chances, win or loser. See yourself.
I love John's voice. And the rhythm guitar in the mix here is really great. I'm not sure I like the synth pops, but it's part of the style. I've heard this one over the years, but I've never really given it a critical listen. You know? Just always kind of bopped around to it. Be yourself, give your free will a chance. You've got to want to succeed. These situations where I'm pretty familiar with the tune, what I'm really listening for is the intricacies of the arrangement, all the background stuff. Yeah. All that stuff I'm not really a fan of. But I like the groove. And a way different type of guitar solo. Yeah, this isn't Steve Howe anymore, right? And the big bass sound that I'm used to getting from Chris is a little more streamlined, right? Just the strings in the background, all the different sounds. I'm just taking all of that in. There's a different chord. Really? Okay. I was ready to go, okay, next song, but wait just a cotton pickin' minute, y'all. They changed the key at the very end. It was in A minor, and I think it went to F. Because the A chord went down to G, and I think it went down again to F, and then it was just doing do, sol, do in F at the end. That threw me for a loop. Well, see, this is why you actually listen to the songs that you already have heard, because they'll surprise you, you know, because when we're doing these intentional listens, you know, when you're paying so close attention to what you're hearing, the stuff that you've missed in the past comes just blaring through sometimes, and that's what happened then. I have heard this live before, but Yes wasn't performing it. It was actually performed by Haken. When I saw them on tour a few years ago, they were playing 1985, which is a great song from Affinity. Is it from Affinity? Shucks. Now never mind. I got all of that in my mind. But in the middle of 1985, they plugged in a cover of Owner of a Lonely Heart, and Ross really, really rocked it, and they played it well, but that's the only time I've ever heard this particular song live. And they put those blips in, those synth hits and stuff. Like I said, not my favorite arrangement choices for that, but the song stands on its own. It's such a sturdy and fun tune. Just great. So, first one down. Let's keep going, y'all. Hold On is another song that originated as a Trevor Rabin demo. And this is a combination of two previous songs that Trevor had written. A song called Hold On, as well as a song called Moving In. And they ended up doing this, and some extra music and lyrics were added in by Chris Squire and John Anderson. I haven't heard this one, y'all, so let me get to it. This is Hold On by Yes. Off we go. Drums. So we're in 4, but it's compound meter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. What's happening in the background? And Alan thought they had changed meters for a second. So I think they're in F there. So back into the regular progression. D minor, F, C to G. And then this flips to relative major F.
Smile, such platonic eye, how they drown in incomplete capacity strain. Just
It's Gentle Giant.
When the fear it calls, how we drown in stylistic audacity, charge the common ground. Round and round and round, we live in gravity shake. We shake so hard, how we laugh so loud. When we reach, we believe in eternity.
Wow. That's some proggy stuff. Just hold on, sunshine is going to shine on through. I like it. And there's that changing the drums again. Got a little bit of the ethos and the type of, humanistic lyric from John that I'm used to hearing, and that makes me happy, right? So the F is just serving as the pedal tone here through this ending section. Guitar solo. And it's a Mixolydian progression over F. Flat 7 to 4 to 1, and that's going to fade out. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. It's going to be interesting because with Owner of a Lonely Heart being the only song that I know coming into this, I'm going to compare all the other ones to that one. Do I like that better? Do I not? And it's hard because Owner of a Lonely Heart is such a, an iconic song, but I really enjoyed the progginess of that one and the groove of that one quite a bit, and the changes. It was really fun. So up next is a song called It Can Happen, and this one is written by Chris Squire and was included as the third single released from the album. As I read in here, John Anderson provided some updated lyrics for this when they put it together for Yes, but John credits Chris with really capturing the philosophy and point of view in the lyrics for this song. So let's get to this one. It's another one that I have not heard, friends, and it is called It Can Happen, and it's by Yes. Here we go. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
You can fool yourself. You can cheat until you're blind.
2, 3.
You can cut your heart. It can happen.
Hiding that meter, right?
You can mend the wires. You can feed the soul apart. You reach, it can happen to you.
So it's another pedal tone, and they're doing a similar thing that they were doing in the outro of the previous song. Cool. Goes up a step,
Created out of fantasy, our destination, go home. Look up, look down, look out, look around, look up, look down. There's a crazy world outside.
Flat 6, 5. It goes back to the original key. I was going to say flat 7, but that C was flat 7 to D, and now they're back on it. That sounds so much like a Chris Squire line, doesn't it? Musically and lyrically. And then it resolves up to D.
This word I like. We architects of life. A song aside, developing words that linger through fields of green, through open eyes. Is for us to see. Look up, look down, look out, look around. So look out.
So this D down to C. And this time it goes through B flat instead of B. And it gets back here. Nice. Alan White on the percussion, y'all. Major 4, Chris Squire playing the butt out of that bass. I still wish I had a little bit more of the prototypical Chris Squire sound on the bass here. More of that sustained stuff that they were doing at the beginning. Like these songs more than I anticipated. Y'all. That's really slick. It's a great sound. I mean, that's part of it, you know. The songs are really solid. Of course, the performances are great. I mean, these guys are, you know, at the top of their game. But the production on it, I've been very into. I just wish I had a little bit more of that Rickenbacker sound from Chris Squire, especially on those big pedal tones, right? It's a little bit of a different aesthetic in the bass sound than I am accustomed to, especially with Chris down there. So we come to the last song on side one, and Changes is another one of Trevor Rabin's demos that was updated for Yes and for this album. It was another radio success for the band as well. It reached number 6 on the rock charts. I can't remember if I have heard this or not, so we're going to find out for sure. Let's go ahead and finish out side 1 with Changes from Yes. Here we go. I've heard this, that pattern. Could I figure it out? There's 7 in there, and then I think additions of like 4. I like that marimba feel too. That's an easier meter to figure out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, the soundscape is wonderful. The strings are great. The guitar in the background is warm.
Moving through some changes, I'll never be the same.
Is this Trevor singing?
Something you did touch me. There's no one else to blame. The love we had has fallen. The love we used to share.
Latte Do, sorry.
Not pretending as if you did.
6, 7. Nice.
Changing places, put yourself to the ground. Capitalize on this good fortune. One word can bring you round. Changes.
I've heard that pattern at the beginning, but the rest of this doesn't sound familiar.
I look into the mirror. I see no happiness. All the warmth I gave you.
And I love that Alan's given this almost a halftime feel in the percussion. It just gives the piece some spaciousness.
is falling. Love we used to share. Left me here believing in love that wasn't there. Changing places. Put yourself to the ground. Word to the wise, where you get what's coming. One word can bring you round.
One word can bring you round. Changes.
But when I look
It's the name of the game,
into
y'all.
your eyes and try to find out how, there's no way to save it now. And everything I feel changes. Keep looking for changes. Changes.
It's not quite guessable for me, which is good. I was trying to anticipate what they were going to do, seeing the lyrics here, and I haven't been guessing right.
For some reason you question it why.
Too short of the guitar solo.
Believe it gets better. One difference between you and I, your heart is inside your head. One word from you, one word from
Wow.
everyone. Only such fools, only such jealous hearts. Only through love changes come.
Only through love changes come.
Put yourself to the ground. Capitalize on this good fortune. One word
Great rhythm guitar in there.
changes. One road to loneliness. It's always the same. One road to
Reminds me a little bit of Owner of a Lonely Heart.
it's calling your name. Change, changing places. Changes. Put yourself to the ground. Capitalize on this good fortune. One word can bring you round. Changes. Change, changing places. Changes. Put yourself to the ground. Word to the wise, where you get what's coming. One word can bring you round. Changes.
Cool. I think I got it enough now I could figure it out. That little rhythm. I wish it came back a little more in the piece. That's the proggiest riff on side one, and it served as the intro and the outro only. Well, I came into this not really expecting anything. I was expecting the sound of Owner of a Lonely Heart. And then that ending threw me for a loop, and I was expecting the rest of them to be kind of in that same mold. And they are. I just liked them more than I thought I might. You know what I mean? You come into it going, well, it's not going to be as proggy or as good as their 70s stuff. Yeah, it's pretty darn good, y'all. It really, really is. Different, yes, but still solid offering. Really, really lovely stuff. I like this, the lyrics here in this last song that we heard. I'm moving through some changes. I'll never be the same. Something you did touched me. There's no one else to blame. The love we had has fallen. The love we used to share, we've given up pretending as if you didn't care. Change. Changing places. Root yourself to the ground. Capitalize on this good fortune. One word can bring you round. Changes. Right? So, I look into the mirror and see no happiness. All the warmth I gave you has turned into emptiness. So it's a loss of love. It's the change of a relationship. It's moving on. It's coming to terms with one relationship maybe ending and another one maybe starting, or being open to moving on and letting what happened in the past be there and just and have a new start. But change. The only thing that is consistent is change, right? Whether we like it or not. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if it's so far my favorite offering from Yes, but I really, really did enjoy that side of music. Next week, I will come back to this album and complete my full album listen by getting to all of side 2. But that'll be next week. And as I look at the tracks from side 2, the 5 songs on side 2, I don't think I know any of them either. Is it possible that I only knew Owner of a Lonely Heart from this album? Yes, that's possible. And we fixed that, at least in part, today. But next week, we'll get to the rest of it and conclude it. But I believe that's going to be all for me on this Friday, my friends. It's been really, really a lot of fun listening to these songs. Let's see, as I go back through my lyrics, we had Changes. Before that, It Can Happen from Chris Squire. That was a fun one. Hold On. And then, of course, Owner of a Lonely Heart. A heck of a way to have an album side, y'all. Yeah. I'm just struck by these bands that got their big time start. I mean, these guys got their start in the late 60s, but the 70s were really where they established themselves and had some wonderful output. And the times change. People change. The relationships between band members change. The aesthetics of the music loving public slightly change. Culture slightly changes, and everything ebbs. And these guys have reinvented their approach here, and it's kind of a new yes for a new decade. And quite frankly, friends, I didn't mind it. It's always good to listen to John Anderson sing, and if you've got John Anderson singing, Chris Squire playing bass, and Alan White playing the drums, it's going to be good, you know. And they've got some great players with them to round out the quintet. And Trevor's songs I thought were really solid. So a fun time on this Masterpiece Friday. Y'all, this was fun. Next week will be even more fun, I think, as all of those songs are going to be ones that I will be hearing for the first time. That'll be next Friday, but that is going to be all for me today. I thank you very much for tuning in, for being a part of the channel. If you have any questions, send me a note, drop me a line, join the Patreon. That's where all of our great other exclusive content lives. If you're interested in hearing my reaction to Drama, the album that came before this, that's all available on my Patreon exclusively. So there you go, friends. Thank you for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily